Yes, everybody, welcome back to Talking Wolves. It's a match preview, a Friday night game. The first time in the Premier League we are going to be playing it on the Friday evening. As always, it's Dave and I'm joined alongside Finners. Finn, how's it going, man?
I'm alright, thanks, mate. How are you?
Good. And Huddersfield's answer to the fatty in the bottom left is Matt Cooper. Matt, how's it going?
So, mate, just polished off 3 family sauce pizzas, you know, man.
So if you don't understand what we're on about, we've got a little bit of trouble in our, let's say, passionate match review of the Huddersfield game. And that is what we're going to start off today's video with. So welcome to Letters from the Fans. So we'll start off with Twitter. We've got Jonathan Gillespie. It says, boys, laughing face. Good looking, you GCSEs. Cheers, Jonathan. Nice vest in your profile picture, mate.
Got a master's degree, you see.
Aaron Morris, he's not happy. He goes, you've spent all that money, you're no better than Tin Pot Huddersfield. As for these 4 clowns, the fatty in the bottom left needs to go out more, perhaps get a girlfriend. Mind
I
you,
love it how the perhaps is just a suggestion, but to go out more is a requirement.
Mind you, the rest of them look like they haven't left their mother's bosoms yet. Interesting one there. He says, Tin Pot, the most overused word by morons who chat about football on social media. Damien Howarth, crappy teams like Wolves shouldn't be in the Premier League. Joke of a league. Reverend Vapes. Huddersfield have been playing well all season, but finally got a deserved away win. Wolves are flattered at a Seaball season. Will have a relegation battle to endure as long as opposition managers do their homework. Interesting. I mean, there were plenty more, lads, but I think those were the highlights for me. Quickly looking through them now.
What really interests me is that we're 4 prepubescent teens with no girlfriends, almost certainly all virgins.
That's it.
Unintelligent, lacking any football knowledge, yet you're still here watching our videos. So we must be doing something right.
Huddersfield fans, if you are there, welcome back to the channel as well. Appreciate your ongoing support.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. There we go.
Well, I did post a tweet out saying that maybe I was a little harsh, and the comments weren't justified. But you know what? Scrap that. I meant all of them.
I don't know. You were going to say that. Anyway, let's move on. By the way, 3 good-looking chaps like us. Definitely virgins, anyway.
Absolutely.
Moving on. Cardiff then, lads. Let's start off with some match stats. We love a few match stats. First time Wolves and Cardiff are going to be playing in the top flight against each other since February 1962, where Wolves got a 3-2 win at Ninian Park. Oi, oi, up the lads. None of the last 8 league meetings between Cardiff and Wolves in Cardiff have ended as draws. So both sides have won 4 each. Of course, last season we played them on a Friday as well. That 1-0 win. Me and Finn were there. Never have I witnessed such scenes.
Is that when you got bounced off for recording yourself?
Come on now. All right. I prefer not to speak.
Were you found down?
That's it.
You lose some limbs, you virgin.
And Wolves have won all 4 of their last league matches played on a Friday, all under Mr. Nuno Espirito Santo. So then, Matt, we'll start off with you. Let's not get too abusive today. We're on the preview. You can do it on the review.
Yeah, man, I'm in a good mood, you know.
Right.
Moved on from Huddersfield. I know they'll be down at the end of the season, so let's move on to
There you go. Get the fishing rods out. Cardiff then. Neil Warnock. He said that him and Nuno are now good friends this week. Is he just trying to get in the mind of Wolves and Nuno, or do you reckon he's being genuine?
No, Neil Warnock being genuine. Come on. It's not in his nature. The last game when beforehand he's like, got a lot of respect for Nuno. You know, he's a top manager, top team. They've done so well, even though the money they've spent, and then afterwards he went on a massive
rampage.
Yeah.
That was it, mate.
Yeah, that was a Warnock.
Oh, right, I thought it was a fly.
We got a fly around your son.
Yeah,
No, it's Warnock.
Yeah. I mean, Nuno was a little bit disrespectful, but, you know, he should have, he was losing some limbs, something that, you know, Dave as a party should maybe have a look at.
That's it.
No, I just think it's all smoke and mirrors, but Nuno will be wary of that. He'll know exactly what he's like. I just hope we perform, man. I can't have another turn up like we had against Huddersfield.
Do you think it's the right time or the worst time to play Cardiff?
to be fair, all the teams down the bottom, they seem to, like I was looking today, Newcastle won their last 3. They seem to lose every single game at the start. Cardiff seem to be down and out within the first 5 games, and now they've picked up a bit of form. We seem to be taking on the lower teams at the wrong time, sort of on their rise. So it's not ideal, but even if Cardiff would have had no points by now, they'd have been just as up for this game as they're going to be on Friday. Warnock will have them drilled. He doesn't want to lose it again, and it'll be streaking Neil Warnock at the Cardiff City Stadium if they win. And I don't want to go back to that game. Obviously, whatever happens on Friday, it's going to be nowhere near as good as last Friday in Cardiff. Well, not as in last Friday, you know.
What'd you get up to?
It was good last week in Cardiff last week.
Whenever that last Friday was. And so, yeah, it's going to be a disappointment even if we win 6-0. But the most important thing is get the win, stop the mini rot. I mean, everyone said Arsenal stop the rot, but it's still no win in 5. And it's hard to think what the ideal game would be right now. Like, if you could choose a team to come up against right now, like who would it be in the Prem to sort of stop that rot? Because you don't want to take on the bottom teams because they're going to do what Huddersfield did. If anything, you want to take on. It doesn't sound right, but you want to take on like an Arsenal, don't you, to build the confidence back up? But I don't know who I'd want. Maybe
I don't know who it is though, because like I don't think lacking the motivation's the problem. Say like the players only want to play against the bigger team. I don't think that's an issue at all.
Just the space.
No, it's just they seem to lack any kind of inspiration against the smaller teams or the teams lower down. But I mean, we're playing Newcastle soon. They're coming into form. Cardiff haven't been too bad recently. Huddersfield are coming to some form, winning a cup final last weekend. So we're starting to play teams that are coming into form. But it wouldn't surprise me if we lose to Cardiff and then beat Chelsea.
Exactly, yeah. Mm-hmm. You get the space, don't you, against like the smaller teams plan to play against us, whereas the big teams do what they want, and then we come up with the answer for that. So I don't know whether that's one side of it.
Yeah, I mean, just quickly looking now, I know Cardiff, they've really struggled against Everton, possession-wise, a 70% to Everton, just under 30% for Cardiff. But the thing I notice here is a 4-5-1 or 4-1-4-1 formation. They're going to be packing out that midfield again. And guess who else did that? Huddersfield. So that is the only issue that I've got here is I'm sure Nuno would have thought something up. If he's going to change formation, is he going to bring 3 into the middle? Is he going to stick to the same system? That's obviously something that in Nuno we trust. That's something that he's going to be sorting out. But it's all for us to speculate on that. Thoughts on Neil Warnock then, lads? You guys know I like him. I love a bit of Colin. Did any of you see the clip of him in the Everton game at the end of the match where Gylfi Sigurdsson was coming off? So obviously Everton 1-0 up, 92nd minute, Sigurdsson's walking off the pitch. In the background is just Warnock looking at his watch, just staring at it. And then as soon as Sigurdsson comes off, Warnock's having a word with the 4th official. It's just him staring at it for the whole time. But yeah, Finn, what do you reckon? Do you think, he's going to want to win this, as you've said already. Would he have watched that Huddersfield game, rubbing his hands together? I know it's his birthday on Saturday. So he's going to be hoping for a birthday 3 points, Matt and Finn. So
he doesn't need any more motivation, does he? He's going to be, I don't know. He's going to have. I mean, last year is one of our toughest games. This year it's meant to be one of our easiest. And have Wolves improved that much from last year? I mean, where have the additions come? Goalkeeper and John Ruddy was the hero last time. To be fair, you haven't got a different wing back now in Vinagre back in the team. You got Martinho and Jimenez, and that's about it. And obviously Cardiff brought in a lot of what people would have said were championship quality. Whether they're preparing for next year already back down, I don't know. But I never normally throw any shade, but it's got to be true, though.
You're listening to me too much.
You're rubbing off on me now. But like Bobby Reid, I mean, he's great in the championship. He went mental when he scored his first goal, didn't he?
Murphy's a good player, though. I like Murphy.
Yeah, and that Harris has come out of nowhere as well, to be fair.
Harris
seems creating for them. But yeah, that midfield's going to be the scary one. It's going to be Harry Arter. I know they've got like Camarasa, not sure what sort of player he is, but there's going to be tackles flying around, as we know. And I think we learned that very first time against Cardiff under Nuno what's going to happen. But we made the same mistakes that we did against Huddersfield. If we don't change, if we keep the 2 sort of fancy midfield players in, they're just going to get overrun again. So if we can see it, I'm sure Nuno can see it. Whether that means if he sticks with his 2, he just goes for bigger guys. If it's like it's not going to. But if it's like Seyson Dendoncker or something like that, if we drastically change, I mean, it's not going to happen. But I mean, it would be fun just for a game.
I saw.
But
go on.
I just don't know. I don't know what we're going to do to stop that same game plan, as you said, that Warnock will have been rubbing his hands after seeing work so well.
I think Martini will come out the side. I really do. Been off the ball. So is Neves, but you can't really drop Neves.
Who though, Matt? Gibbs White, Sace, Dendoncker.
Sace, to be honest. I don't think Dendoncker's that comfortable playing as a central midfielder, is he? I mean, I know he plays right side of centre half for Belgium, but Benny looks out of his depth the past few games, so I'd be tempted to drop him. But again, it's whoever's stronger in the air really, because Morrison and Bamba together, they're a very big threat. They're nearly as big a threat to their own goal as they are to ours sometimes. But you know, you can't ignore that kind of aerial prowess.
That's what is gonna worry me. The set pieces, I think, because I think that's where they're gonna look to score.
Yeah.
That's it. Interestingly, I'm on the Cardiff page. They've changed their badge 4 times in the last 15 years. Interesting stat there.
Stats.
Yeah, stats, mate. Stats. I don't know who they're sort of sticking up front at these days. I mean, they've got Zahore still. Gary Medine.
They got that Fortnite guy, haven't they? Patterson. He does all the...
Oh, Callum Patterson.
Patterson.
The Scottish bloke.
Yeah.
He can play absolutely anywhere, though.
Yeah, he's proper versatile, isn't he?
Top goal scorer, isn't he?
Patterson probably is. Yeah.
He was a left back, wasn't he? On the right back.
Left back, right back.
Didn't realise he couldn't defend.
Then went to centre mid, and now he's a striker.
That's it.
Unit, and he's what we need in the middle, but someone who's half decent at football.
What do you think Nuno has to do then, Matt, to change what happened Saturday? What does he need to change? I know you mentioned a couple of changes then, but what was clear?
Ideally, I'd want 3 midfield, but he's not going to change his philosophy because he's too stubborn. Ultimately, I think that'll be his downfall. I don't want it to be. I want us to succeed with Nuno. I want us to take us to as far as he can, which is obviously more than where he's took us so far. But I'd maybe play Sace and Neves. I know I've not been Sace's biggest fan this year. Made a few comments about him chasing shadows, but last season he was instrumental in what we did. He made Neves the player that he was just by doing the dirty work. A lot of his work did go unnoticed. So I'd bring Sace back in. I think he'll be chomping at the bit to have a go. He would have seen the performance last Sunday and thought, why not playing here? So yeah, I'd bring Sace. I don't think it's right for Gibbs White. Not away from home. He's a fantastic player, great prospect, but he doesn't hold that position where I think that Sace is positionally more aware than Gibbs White, and he offers a bit more of a sturdiness. But
I think if he started as well, Warner could be. He'd literally tell someone go through Gibbs White early. He'd love that. Any sort of play like that, he'd just be like, have him. Or, you know,
front three thing. I saw a really good comment today about, I don't know if it's today or yesterday, about the attacking situation that Wolves have got on about the striker Raul Jimenez, and someone was saying we need a new striker, we need this, we need that, and then someone commented saying, no, the job of the front three is to equally share the goals out. Jimenez is actually putting a half decent shift in, seeing by his goals and assists. So what are the other two doing? So for you, who gets the nod? I think it was a great shout as well. So, you know, people saying we've got too many wingers, whenever we're getting linked with one. Ideally, if you can get someone that's actually going to feed Jimenez a bit more. Obviously, he scuffed a couple of chances at the weekend, but if you get someone to feed him more, get the ball into him a bit more, we might actually start scoring goals. But who are the front three for you to start at Cardiff?
Jimenez.
I want to throw me on the wing, Bonatini up like last time. Yeah, definitely Jimenez in the middle. I mean, he's a centimetre away from scoring last game. And I don't think we've used his head enough, to be fair. I see a lot of people commenting on my videos that you need to use Jimenez because he's not great with his feet, as we've seen with the amount of one-on-ones. I remember there's one at Crystal Palace. Yeah, and that, well, it's not quite. I'd rather have him than like the
first touch like a trampoline.
And like he was in on goal last weekend, as we said. And I'm trying to think of the other ones. I'm sure there's been a few more, but with his head, he seems quite useful. A great header, that one that Billing did so well to clear off the line. So if we've got people there to set him up, that's the question that you've asked. The two that I'd go with, I think it's controversial, but I think I'd start Adama in this one because off the bench in a game like this, he's good off the bench when we're in front, and we've got to get in front in the first place in this one. And looking at the performances of Cavan Costa at the weekend, I mean, I mean, you can have your off day, but they looked awful. So, I mean, one of them's probably got to play unless we switched it up and went Jota and Traore.
I think
but for me, Traore off the bench in this one, I don't think it's going to work. I mean, they're not going to give him the space that Arsenal gave him, that Man United gave him. So I'd go from the start. I know he had his off day at Brighton and falling over at his own feet and stuff. So hopefully, if he can retain his balance, he might be useful on Friday. But for the other side, I probably would go Jota. To be fair, after this, I just can't forgive Kevin Costa for that performance.
I'd go the same. I'd go Jota, Adama, and Jimenez. I think Jimenez against these two centre halves will probably have a little bit more joy because he's an intelligent player, and I think he'll drag him out of positions, and I think they'll go with him. So hopefully that leaves a little bit more space in behind for Adama and Jota. But it's kind of like process of elimination with our inside forwards at the minute. So, well, them two were shit, so we'll bring these two in who are a little less shit.
And 2 weeks ago, it was like get Jota out, and then it seems like they all don't want to start. Like they all do so much better off the bench.
I don't think Cav's
going to Christmas, isn't it?
I don't think Cav's sharp though, because he's started the last 2 games. Other than that, we ain't had a pre-season full. He's only just come back from a fairly long-term injury. So, I mean,
when he was playing week in, week out in the Championship, they only lasted like 60 minutes.
Yeah, he couldn't cope. Yeah, so that was it.
And when Bright was on the wing, he was so good off the bench to begin with. He just seems like he's got more of a point to prove when he comes off the bench. So we'll start with no wingers and just chuck all 4 on.
Strikerless, that's it. Bring back Bright then, in the words of Finn. He wants Bakary back. Quick point. Last back 4 against Everton for Cardiff was Bruno Manga at right back, Morrison and Bamba in the middle, and Cunningham at left back. So, I mean, Adama could have a field day. But to be fair, I said the Watford defence was poor on paper, and they done us.
No, but that's like...
Did we? Yeah,
and then Harry Arter at left mid, so it's not like they've got a pure pace down their left-hand side.
Oh, he's insufferable, though, Harry Arter.
So who was the midfield 3 then?
So the midfield 5 for them. They started that Patterson up front, apparently.
Yeah.
Kadeem Harris on the right, Harry Arter on the left, Rawls, Camarasa, and Gunnarsson in the middle.
Gunnarsson's not a bad player.
So Bobby Reid on the bench, Junior Hoylett on the bench.
Hoylett don't get a kick for him now, does he?
That's it. Anyway, lads, let's move on. Finally, score predictions. Finn, what are you going for?
I always forget when we do these videos. I'm never pre-planned, so.
It's not that hard thing.
No, I don't know. I like to take my time over it. Matt, go on. Give me a minute. I'm thinking of all.
He's going to copy you, Matt. Go on.
I'm going to go 2-0 Wolves.
Oh.
Do you want first goal scorer or last?
Go on. First. Or last as well, if you want.
First. I'm going to say, I think Ruben's going to get one. I think it's going to be edge of the area, right-footed curler, top bins.
Beautiful.
I did say to Dave that if Wolves didn't win, I'd dye my hair platinum, but we'll
brush past that just in case they don't.
Yeah.
Finn, go on then. You're going to say 2-0 as well?
I've thought about it. I'm going to go 1-0. It's going to be a recreation of last time.
So
to Wolves.
We're going to score a free kick and they're going to miss 2 last-minute penalties again.
You heard it here first, yeah. Get your money on it.
Okay, no problem. I'm going 1-0. Diogo to grab the winning.
It's Diogo, not Diego.
Diego Jota, whatever. Guys, let us know your score predictions and what you reckon. And if you're going to the match on Friday, let us know. Me and Finn will be there. Matt is in Liverpool somewhere, I'm sure. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We'll have a match review out hopefully on Friday evening. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Hopefully we don't get any more abuse on this video, and we'll see you all very, very soon.